I've come down to Oldham on a Saturday. I was actually going to come down tomorrow, but because the weather's been so breezy, I wanted to do something in the garden, and I just didn't get around to it. Anyway, I decided I was going to come down today because I couldn't do the gardening. So, oh crikey. What we're going to do first, we're going to start off by looking at the funeral directors up here on Edward Street in Werneth. And I drove past the other day last week, and I saw this stone. There used to be, I think this is fairly modern, this. There used to be an older house here. I'm sure my mum told me that. We've got all these beautiful houses here. We'll talk about them in a minute, but I wanted to look at this. It says, the stone says, Wild and Brierley. The stone commemorates the opening of this building. 10th of May 1997, owned four of the Wild and four generations of the Wild family, and one Brierley founded by John circa 1890 on Featherstone Road, Oldham. Evicted CPO 7th of March 97. We are here to continue the personal service. Placed in honour of his forebearers by the present owner, Robert F. Wild, Esquire JP, died in 2009. But yeah, I just wanted to, I've done a bit on this street before, to be perfectly honest, and I was driving past and I thought, sod it, let's stop and do a bit. So over the years, this Edward Street has changed quite a lot, really. These houses here on the right hand side as we're going down, I can hardly see in this bloody screen. Yeah, these houses here on the right hand side, all of these, like Queen's Road in Oldham, even though Werneth is what it is nowadays, it's not exactly the best area in Oldham, but it certainly isn't the worst. You know, this at one point had some very influential Oldhamers that lived in this area. Now this Parkside, this is a care home now, but what I'll do, if you look below, I'll let you know who were living there. I think it's around about 1911, 1919. This is number 8. Beautiful houses, but the most interesting one for me is the one that's used for the National Probation Service now, which is this one here. And actually, if you look at this window here, you can see that archway there. That used to be a front door, so it was actually 2 houses. And this house here was, oh, look at these old pillars. That house was owned by a fella called Fred Rothwell, and I've mentioned him in other videos, and he sorry if it was too high up then. Yeah, I mentioned Fred Rothwell in other videos, and he basically manufactured cars in Oldham in the 1920s and 30s. And actually, this is Brooklyn's house. One of their cars is currently in Oldham Library. You can go and see it. They've got it on display. This is number 14. Something to do with the NHS, that I think. Oh no, that's a coronavirus thing. Anyhow, I wanted to show you. We're going to have a look down here as well, because I want to see if the mill's still standing. But you see this house here? It's all blocked off. All the ceilings in, the roof's in. But it's an interesting, well, it was interesting to me, this story. So, this house here, that beautiful old door there at number 22. I'll put on who was living at number 22, and look, the skylight's about to flit off and smack someone on the head. So I think this is number 19 or number 23. Look, there's all the man's on the door. What? Look at that. It's going to come down soon, that. Oh, everything's been ripped out the side. You can actually see the roof. Look, you can see the sky through that. It's been on fire as well. Right, everyone, if you're not about Werneth like I did in the late 80s and early 90s, this is where I used to knock about. And here, where the road bends round, so just about here, this has all been closed off now, but this was a street, and the street, literally around about here, the street used to go all the way down, and you had Hathersage Street off it. Oh God, what was the other names? It was Hathersage Street, was the Southern Street, was Southern Street off there as well. But what they've done now is they've built all of these houses, but there was a shop on the corner, just here, right on the corner. It was called the Top Shop, and it disappeared for years. And then when I was driving down here the other day, someone's brought it back. So that's someone who obviously remembers. And what we're going to do now is be really cheeky, because I think we're going to be able to gain access to this site. Now, I'm not wearing the best shoes, but let's do it. See if we can get in. Woo, look at that. So they still haven't dropped it, but they have dropped the rest. This is Hertford Mill. So people get confused with Hertford Mill and what's over there, Hertford Works, which is the old Platts building. But Hertford Mill was built, I've done a video on it before, can't remember the name of the architect, but anyway, it's been many things over. It's been a cotton spinning mill, that's what it started out as, and then I think just before they closed it down, it was owned by Littlewoods, and then it caught on fire, and then I think some young people, I say young people because I don't know, I don't think they were like little children, but there were some very young people running around in here, and I think something really bad happened. And I don't know if you can see it in the distance down there, but you see Chadderton Mill? That was the first mill that was built in Oldham, the very first one, and it was built by, oh sorry, it was the very first mill, excuse me, let me repeat that. Chadderton Mill was the very first mill built by Sir Sidney Stott, who came from a family of mill architects. I think I mentioned his father actually, Abraham Stott, if you watch, well not Abraham Stott, his uncle. If you watch that video I did a couple of weeks ago when I went to, we're going to go and have a look at church in a minute, and we're going to have a look at Hertford Works as well. But yeah, a few weeks ago I did a video where I was in Grinnikers, and I started off there, and I showed you this grave of this fella Stott. Anyway, that's his nephew who built Chadderton and various other mills. He didn't end up staying in Oldham. He used to live on Waterloo Street, and then when he got a bit of money and a title, he fired off down south. So yeah, that's the top of the Platts building there, and I want to go and have a look at Hertford Works. I think it's fascinating. Right, I'm going to get back to the car. See that woman there? Just been left blinded out the cold. It is cold though. There's that house. Can't believe it's going to get knocked down that soon. Such a shame, innit? I didn't tell you, I just realised I didn't finish telling you while I walked back to the car. That's the new smoker there. Yeah, this morning when I set off over at Tops, the bloody was over at Moores Road. I had to slow right down to about 10 miles an hour because the car was in danger. I swear to God, I'm not being over dramatic. I know I can be, but it nearly got blew off the bleeding road. While we're here, I just want to take another look at this stone because I'm determined to find out who this is. This garden was created in the memory of a fella by his nephew, and the name's on the stone. I just want to get the details again, because I'm going to try, and I'm desperate to find out who this fella were. So let's have a look at this now. It says, this garden was given by Joseph Dickinson, Lees Esquire, and then it's got, oh that's Esquire, yeah, in memory of his grandfather Robert Bickinson in 1910. So I'm going to assume that Robert Bickinson died around about 1910, 1908, something like that. And there's another inscription on the back. I think it's your ear to the world of nature, and your heart shall turn to truth and goodness. Oh, Jesus Christ almighty! That is horrific. Why every time do I come to Werneth do I get, they're coming back? Oh no, they're coming back. Every time I come to Werneth, can't do anything because I'm being pestered by pigeons. Oh God. And yes, I will be leaving that in, swearing and all. Jesus, right, let's just get to Hartford. I can't have that. I don't know what they must have been thinking. Were they thinking that... I swear to God, about 100 birds then, 100 pigeons. I don't mind looking at them, but I don't like that. Car's filthy, look. Right, let's get there. Right, I'm in the car. What I'm going to do, I'm going to walk down to Hartford Works. That's St John's over there. And I'm going to walk in and just see if I can get some filming of it inside. I'll probably get kicked out, but I'm just going to blag it. If someone comes out, I'm just going to pretend that I'm looking for someone to get a view of it, a tour of it. Right? I know it's a bit cheeky, but I can't imagine many people are going to have too much of a problem with it, to be honest. We'll see, won't we? The only thing I want to look at in here, I just want to have a look at the old... This was built by the Platts. Look at it. This is where the world's largest manufacturer of machinery for the use for the cotton trade was, and employed literally probably most people in Oldham. Let's have a look inside. Shit. I think it's a storage facility now. Look at these old doors. Look at the old stones. Look at that. Look at that old office up there. Probably the old... If you used to work here and you can remember, let me know what that was, but it looks like an old office or something. And look, it's got all the cobbles, and these are these train tracks here. I'm sure someone told me that they used to move everything around on train tracks and they used to go under the floor. Right, cheeky swine, Anna, just walking in here. Look at it, everybody. Look at the old windows. Number 301. Look at this. Sorry, I mean, my filming's all over, I'm really sorry. Look at this window. All these old windows. I'm not going to go down there because I think that's someone's private business and I don't want to be too cheeky. So the old Hartford Works, but this is fascinating. If you commented on the train tracks, let me know if this is how they used to move stuff around. I know it was. It matches exactly what I was told. Please. See, the thing is, I can't go down there because there might be a rat. No, absolutely. So I've already been attacked by pigeons. I can't do rats as well. And I noticed there was a few pigeons in these rafters as well. Trying to get this camera. Sorry, everybody. Seen that hook there?